Happy Thursday, Chiefs Kingdom. It's a big day in the state of Kansas as on today, September the 1st, DraftKings Sportsbook is active in the state of Kansas. I've been looking over the prop bets. I've been looking over all kinds of bets that you can place on the Kansas City Chiefs, and I've got 4 preseason bets that I really like, and I'm going to tell you about coming up next after this.
You are listening to KC Sports Network, the #1 podcast network for today's Kansas City sports fans. With former players from your favorite teams, informed perspectives, and former insiders, this is the place for you. KC Sports Network is proudly presented by Emprise Bank, your partner in possible.
All right, like I said, I've got 4 bets to tell you about after I tell you about our friends at DraftKings, and the wait is finally over, Kansas. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is officially live in Kansas just in time for football season. That means betting legally on same-game parlays, spreads, money lines, and more anytime and anywhere across the Sunflower State. To celebrate, DraftKings is giving new Kansas customers a can't-miss offer. Bet just $5 on anything and get $200 in free bets instantly. Thursday night is almost here, and if you want more action, DraftKings has an opening night kickoff promo. Everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. Get up 7, you win. Bet on any pro football team of your choice, and if your team leads by 7 points at any point during the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code KCSN to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on anything. That's code KCSN only at DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 800-522-4700. Must be 21 years or older. Physically present in Kansas. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus issued as free bets. 1 early win token issued at opt-in. Moneyline bets only. Deposit and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/Kansas on behalf of Boot Hill Resort and Casino. All right, let's get into my 4 favorite preseason bets for the Kansas City Chiefs this season. Now, these preseason bets, they end on Thursday, September the 8th, a week from today. These bets, you can't place them on anymore. So get your money in, get your bets placed, because I really like these 4 bets right here. Let's start off with the first one. I'm going to check my notes down here. Chiefs' longest winning streak this season. The Chiefs' longest winning streak this season is set at 4.5. So 5-game winning streak will get you the over, and that is valued at -110, with the under valued at -115. So our friends at DraftKings are saying they kind of value the under a little bit more. I think the under is a little more likely to happen. So let's take a look at this Chiefs schedule. They go Cardinals, Chargers, Colts, Bucks, Raiders, Bills. That's a 6-game stretch right there. Do I think that they can win all 5 of those right there? That's going to be tough. Going to be tough to get a 5-game stretch out of that. But nevertheless, their first half of the schedule is historically hard, according to Sharp Football Analysis. Warren Sharp does a really great job of looking at football from all aspects of the game. But he said that this schedule is the most difficult this season and is historically hard, one of the most difficult schedules in the history of football. So 5 straight wins is going to be tough for the Chiefs to rattle off. If they can do it, though, I'm thinking it's this stretch right here. At the San Francisco 49ers, week 7, bye week, week 8. So you got to kind of wait for a bye week, and then they play the Titans. Andy Reid off of a bye, that's a good one. Andy Reid off of a bye, that's usually a win. The Jacksonville Jaguars, that's 3. Then you got to bank on them beating some pretty good teams with the Chargers and the Rams. The Rams would be your 5th one right there, that 5th win. Unless, here's another stretch that I kind of like towards the end of the season. It's going to go the Denver Broncos, at the Denver Broncos, week 14, week 15 at the Texans, week 16 versus the Seahawks, 17 the Broncos. You got to beat the Broncos twice. That one could be tough. And then you round out with the Raiders. So the schedule's not really set up very well for a 5-game stretch, but I'm not going to bet against Patrick Mahomes. I'm not going to bet against Andy Reid. You'll sense a theme kind of in my my picks that I have here. But I think that those 2 stretches that I pointed out are the kind of the most likely that could be. I think the first one probably more likely than the back half of that schedule. So keep an eye out for that one. The Chiefs' longest winning streak, 4.5. Take the over at -110. I think you'll be very happy with that one. These bets will end towards the end of the regular season, so you might get a little bit of cash in your pocket at the beginning of the year. No, everyone loves that. Everybody loves that. All right, the second bet that I have for you to kind of keep your eye on, and one that you should probably, I really like this one. This one is a good one. Chiefs total divisional wins. Had to write this one down. Over at plus 110, under at minus 140. That over under is set at 3.5. 3.5 wins. So 4 wins would hit the over and give you plus 110 on your money. I like the over. Life's too short to bet the under. Got to have positive vibes at this point in the season. But listen, hear this out. I went through and wrote down the Chiefs' record since Patrick Mahomes was the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, their divisional record. 2018, 5-1. 2019, 6-0. 2020, 4-2. 2021, 5-1. You look at those numbers. 4 is the least amount of games that he's won against the division. The over-under is set at 3.5. I think 4 is an easy lock. I think 4 games for Patrick Mahomes and this team to win against the division, a lock. Andy Reid has been a machine against the division. Patrick Mahomes, obviously a machine against the division, only lost 4 games in his career against divisional opponents. I really like this one. I like this bet with the over, especially at plus 110. I understand the hesitancy. I understand why the under at minus 140 DraftKings thinks is most likely to happen. The division did stack up. They added a lot of quarterbacks. They added a lot of weapons. It's scary, but I think that Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, not going to bet against those guys. It's a fool's game to play trying to bet against those guys. So I like the over at plus 110. Cash it with me. I'm going to DraftKings Sportsbook. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you like this bet? If you like this bet, drop a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe. I'll be talking about all kinds of daily fantasy gambling all throughout the season. So make sure you are hooked in, locked in right here to KC Sports Network on KCS Update on Thursdays. I'll most likely be talking about some of this during the regular season too, but this preseason bet I really like, and I'm probably going to be going and placing my money on this one. This next one I got is an AFC West special, the only division to actually have a special bet. I thought that was pretty interesting. And this is for most regular season passing yards. Most regular season passing yards. It's Justin Herbert at plus 130, Mahomes at plus 150, Carr at plus 350, and Wilson at plus 900. To be honest, I think this is a 2-horse race. Our friends at DraftKings obviously think it's a 2-horse race as well, with putting Herbert at plus 130 and Mahomes at plus 150. Carr at plus 350. That would be a surprise. That'd be a shock to kind of see that guy. And Wilson, man, I just don't know if they've got enough firepower to beat Mahomes or Herbert. If you look at kind of the passing yardage, I think that this is easy money on Patrick Mahomes. I know Justin Herbert had a 5,000 yard year last year, but hard to follow up a 5,000 yard year with another 5,000 yard year. And I think that's what Justin Herbert's going to have to get to surpass Patrick Mahomes, because I think all signs point to Mahomes having an absolute dynamite year, especially when it comes to the passing department. He's got all these new weapons. He's got all these options. He doesn't feel like he has to force it places. I really like Patrick Mahomes leading this division when it comes to passing yards. And that's the cool thing about this bet. Doesn't have to lead the league. He doesn't have to be the yards leader for the league. He has to be the yards leader in the division, which I think is something that can very well happen because Patrick Mahomes, like I said, primed for a big year. I think that this year is going to be a big statistical year for him. Could be one of his best statistically. And we saw from Patrick Mahomes, hard to follow up a 5,000 yard season with 5,000 more yards. It's pretty tough to do. Defenses are going to adjust. You can certainly count on that. So that's why I kind of think Justin Herbert might have a little bit regression in that area. And I'm not saying that Justin Herbert's going to have a bad year. He just might not throw for 5,000 yards. He's still going to rag up a lot of yards. He's still a really good quarterback. I think Patrick Mahomes this year, this is going to be a y'all forgot type of year for Patrick Mahomes. So I'm doing whatever I can to put money on that guy so he can make me some money while he's out making more money pretty much. So I'm just hitching my wagon to that guy, and that's a good wagon to hitch to right there. Patrick Mahomes, I'll bet on that guy every day of the week, a few times on Sundays too. My last bet, my final bet that I really like for this Chiefs preseason. This one's a little bit more of a long shot, but I need you to stick with me on this one. When Tyreek Hill left the Kansas City Chiefs, national pundits were very quick to kind of bury this team, right? Russell Wilson goes from the Seahawks to the Broncos. Derek Carr gets an old friend in Devontae Adams. Chargers stock up. They've got Justin Herbert already. They get Khalil Mack. They get J.C. Jackson. They bulk up their defense. People are ready to bury the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have won this division 7 times in a row. People are ready for something new. Every year we go through this process of the Chargers are going to win the division. Well, the Raiders are going to win the division. The Broncos couldn't win the division this year. They've got Russell Wilson. They can win the division now. And you're seeing the Chiefs get picked 3rd, 4th to win this division, miss the playoffs even. I don't think that that's going to happen. And maybe that's because, we're early in the season. Optimism is high for every team. Every team's a Super Bowl contender in August, and now September, things start to get real. And I think we're going to see some real things happen with this Kansas City Chiefs football team. I'm very excited to see the offense, the defense, lots of new faces. Tyrann Mathieu left on the defensive side. Anthony Hitchens no longer there. We got youth in the linebackers, got youth in the secondary, got youth on the offense. There's a lot of storylines leading up to this bet that I have right here. To this bet that is one of my favorites. It's a narrative-driven league. This league is very narrative-driven, and I think that everything is setting up perfectly for a really good narrative for the Kansas City Chiefs, and more specifically, their head coach. A lot of these of the year awards are based off of narratives, MVP, a big one, an MVP award. There's a big narrative around that one. Ken Swanson on the KC Laboratory talked about on Monday how 9-1 odds for Patrick Mahomes to win the MVP. I'll take that one too. That seems like a pretty good bet to me. I like it. There you go. There's a bonus one. Chiefs, they're over under set at 10.5. 10.5. Guess what? The Chiefs have not won less than 12 games with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. That's an easy lock. I know the schedule is difficult. We went through the schedule a little bit earlier. I think that's easy. I think it's an easy lock. 12 wins. There's another bet. I should maybe say this is 6 bets that you should put your money on. Comeback player of the year, defensive player of the year, all those narratives. This one right here, coach of the year, a narrative. And I like Andy Reid at plus 3,000. Plus 3,000 for coach of the year. And you might be thinking, Tucker, that's a long shot, dude. Like, why are you going to put your money on that one? That seems like a long shot. You're right. It might be a long shot. I'm willing to take this risk, take this gamble on Andy Reid at this point. He has a new look offense. He has a new look defense. He has all of the storylines leading into a year where this team isn't supposed to do anything, right? Remember the national people are saying, pick 3rd, pick 4th. This team's not really supposed to do anything to those people. If they go out and win the division, go to the championship game again, host a championship game again, I know it's a regular season award. I don't think you can discount what Andy Reid's going to be doing with this football team. I think that by this time, next year, and Andy Reid, he gets done winning this Coach of the Year award. He's already cemented his place in Canton. I think that's a certain. That's a guarantee at this point that Andy Reid will be in there. But getting a Coach of the Year award, he hasn't won it for multitude of reasons, like I mentioned, because it's a narrative award. And I think the narratives are starting to build to the point where you can justify Andy Reid having a legitimate case for Coach of the Year. Yes, he's a really good coach, usually given to like worse teams that do a little bit better, kind of is how this award is given. I don't think that there's anything wrong with having Andy Reid a legitimate conversation for Coach of the Year. Plus 3,000, yeah, that's like 30-1 odds or something like that. It's not great odds for you. I'll be honest. But I think if it does happen, everything is building up to this point where Andy Reid could have a legitimate shot at Coach of the Year. They win 12 games. You're thinking, how the heck did this team win 12 games? Andy Reid is a genius. That narrative is going to be out there. That'll be pushing it. So I think this is a good bet to put your money down on. If you took advantage of the offer that was going on before, you got some free bets. You place your $5 down, you get $200 in free bets. Go ahead and put one down on this Andy Reid at plus 3,000. It might not hit, but if it does, you're going to have some nice cash to start off the year of 2023, and you'll thank me later. I really like this one. I think the narratives are really stacking up for this one to be an exciting bet towards the end of the year. So let me know what you think below. Leave a comment. Do you think Andy Reid could have a shot at Coach of the Year next year? I think it's a good shot. So let me know. Like the video, subscribe, obviously, and I'll bring up some of your guys' comments on next week's episode when I'm on here on Thursdays. And I'm very excited to get this season content rolling. It's going to be so very good to get in the groove of the season content and bringing you all kinds of stuff that you guys want to hear on KCSN Update. That's going to do it for today's episode. As I mentioned before, let me know in the comment section below what you think of my bets. I want to see what bets you guys have found on the DraftKings Sportsbook. There's a ton on there. I love going through it and just kind of going down a rabbit hole. So I want to know which ones you have found, and I'll let you know in the comment section what I think of those. Even bring them on next week's video to talk about them. So thank you guys for watching all the way to the very end of the video. We appreciate it very much. Also subscribe so you don't miss anything that we're doing here at KC Sports Network. We've got a lot of stuff planned for the regular season for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm super excited. There's a lot of stuff we can't talk about yet too, and I'm just very excited for you guys to see what all we've got going on. We got a great lineup too for KCSN Update starting next week. Matt Miller will be on Mondays. On Tuesday, you already know, Nate Taylor and the 5 burning questions will be there for you on Tuesday. On Wednesday, that's going to be YouTube legend Brett Coleman. Thursdays, that's with myself. I'll be talking all kinds of stuff on the Thursday episodes, and Friday, to get you ready for the game, will be PFF's Trevor Sikkema. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single one of those videos coming at you every single weekday here on this YouTube channel. And if you're listening to the audio, subscribe and leave us a 5-star rating and review. Those really help us out. So thank you all for watching to the end of the video. I'm Tucker Franklin. I'll be back with you next Thursday on KCSN Update. Tomorrow, BJ will be back with you. So until then, I'll see you next week.